Sound check, 1, 2.
This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
He knows as soon as he gives it to her, he's gonna give her his heart to her too.
And we'll have kids and get married.
That's too far.
Holy shit.
It is the 17th of October, 2023. My name is Corey Winfield, and this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. Coming to you from the North Studio today with a sense of responsibility, compassion, and integrity. Joining me in the studio is Justin Burke. Justin, how are you today, sir?
Fabulous.
Also joining me in the studio, very special guest, Mitchell O'Brien. How are you today, sir?
Oh, amazing.
Nice. And this is our third attempt to start this episode. So welcome.
Third time's a charm.
Good thing is we didn't get very far. I don't remember why we stopped it the first time.
You
weren't
messed
feeling it,
something up
bad
with the
vibes.
board?
Yeah. And then, this last time I thought I heard something weird. And it really wasn't off to a good start. It was like the ship was sinking fast. You know?
Is that what you call a shrimp boat?
Yeah. They're scrimping.
Poor Forrest Gump.
Well, the last podcast I did with Mr. Justin Burke and Mr. Adam Stevens, Marnie listened to the other day, and she was like, yeah, it was good until it wasn't. And I was like, okay.
What was that meaning about?
We were joking. We were clowning around about starting a morning show
Yeah, we should.
with you, with a name, or a podcast, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because before the podcast, I had to kind of explain myself. I'm like, look, before that, we were kind of talking about radio names and stuff like that, and
With Billy Blows and Jesse Jobs.
yeah, and you put together, and that's what you get. But and then she got my aunt going, yeah, that part really wasn't funny. And Marnie's just like, it just sounds immature. And I said, progress, not perfection. You know, this is what I do when you're not on, honey. Like it's like you let the dog outside without a leash. Where you think he's running around the yard like a wild ass dog? Well, what do you think you're gonna do with the ex-radio guy when you give him a microphone? You take the leash off. You know, he's gonna run around the fucking studio with a microphone. Whatever comes to my mind, I'm just throwing it out there, man.
You can see that too, Corey. What do you think? You let the dog out without a leash, and he goes, "Row, row, row."
I'm just saying, man. Just saying. But I had a rough weekend. I think I talked to you guys about it.
Yeah.
It was tough. You know, it's being on this side of recovery, which I love. You know, being in recovery, I love that part. You know, being in addiction, I did not love that part. I didn't know how I would ever get out of that. I thought it only happened to other people. And here I am, almost, 5 years later, a couple months out, 5 years. So it can be done. It sure can. But now, in the old saying, what comes around goes around. And I'm finding myself in these situations where I'm around drunk people. And they're annoying people. People I just don't want to be around. Mm-hmm. And it's not that I don't love them. It's not that I don't like them. It's just I'd rather not be around them when they're drunk. You know, it's nobody likes to be around drunk people. Unless you're trying to take advantage of them or something. But
That's not cool.
It's been kind of hard trying to find a 19, 20-year-old.
all right, well, put a pin in that, Mitch.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll get into the meaning of that.
sorry, that was inappropriate.
Oh, it's okay.
I'll have to get all up in it.
Mitch, stop it. Stop.
I haven't been on a podcast in a while, so I just, got to let it all out.
Man, shh.
Yeah.
You're on them all the time. You just don't know it.
So the story goes, guys. I was at my family's. My stepdad had a birthday party. We went down there, and it was just a lot of drinking, and just I found myself at this point where it's just like, if this is how it's going to be at family functions, and I'm just not going to go. You know, I just didn't find it any fun. There was a lot of arguing, a lot of bickering. I think a lot of that was brought on by the drinking. Mm-hmm. And at one point, it was like, hey, Corey, why don't you get in the middle of this? And I said, because I found that my life goes easier if I just stick to what is Corey's problems. Mm-hmm. You know, like I'm not trying to get in your problems. Or if you have a problem with this person or that person, not my problem. I'm over here, don't really care. You know, like you guys can figure that out. Why am I going to interject myself into a situation that's already like toxic? I don't want anything to do with this. No thanks. Why, this doesn't even sound fun. And so just dealing with it. And I kind of describe it as, you know, that a train is going to wreck. Because you've been on this train before and you've seen it wreck and you know it wrecks every time. And you see people getting on this train and you're going, hey, hold on, man. This train wrecks every time it goes by whatever station.
Didn't you see the sign that says, tracks ending?
It wrecks every time and it hurts bad and it sucks. Oh, okay, whatever. And they get on the train anyway and you watch it take off and you're like, but it's not going to end well, and some people don't get a chance to make it off the train. I was lucky enough. I somehow survived. Some people don't. And when you see people on this train, you just know, like, it's only going to end a couple ways, Jails, institutions, or death. And when you see somebody and it looks like they want the deaf part, and that's a weird situation too.
Right.
And it's just like, nothing I can say or do to change these people's minds, but here I am in recovery. So some people look at me like, hey, help them out. And I'm like, for what? They don't want help. I can't help somebody who does not want help. And that's hard for some people to fathom or wrap their brain around. But if there's parents out there listening, or family members or loved ones or whatever, and you have someone that you love that's going through it, you know what I'm talking about, and maybe they're at a spot where they want help, and that's great. Without that, you really can't start anywhere. But it's tough to sit with, and then I start thinking, am I being judgmental? Am I being the bad guy? Because, some people can drink. Yeah, some people can. But not people that are getting on that train. Those people aren't even getting on that train.
Those people that are getting on that train will look at you and call you judgmental too for not getting on that train.
I don't really care what they think. I just worry about, am I really being judgmental? And I don't know. I don't think I am, because I don't see these people that often. And they can say, well, I was just letting loose that one day. But I do hear stories. People talk. I see stuff. I get messages sometimes that don't make sense. And it's like, this is what I did to people. This is the hell I put people through. And now I'm getting it back. I don't know. It's just a weird feeling, man. Here in Traverse City with 217 Recovery, I have my safe comfort zone. I go where I choose. I hang out and I'm surrounded by people who I want to be surrounded by. And you guys are all in recovery. So it's easy, and like you step outside of that zone, and I didn't want to drink or anything. Actually, the reverse effect, it made me not want to drink even more. But it's just weird when you step outside that bubble that I've been in and you go back to be around people that are family members, and like these people are supposed to be, loved ones, and I'm supposed to care about them. But then at the same time, I'm like, not sure if I want to be even around some of these people.
I feel that way on a weekly basis.
With your family?
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. Like, does it just eat at you? Does it just make you feel a little sick or something? Like, how does it make you feel?
Sometimes. Like, I don't know. I just, like, some days I would just rather stay up here and not even have to worry about it. But that's not possible.
Yeah, you talk to your family, like, way more than I ever even try to. Like, on purpose.
Only a few of them.
Yeah.
You talk to your family like you love them or something.
Well, I do, but it's just hard. Like, my mom's a functional alcoholic. She goes to work every day and comes home and can't wait.
No way. Fuck's sake.
Wait, you just said something.
What?
Functioning alcoholic.
Yeah, that's what they call
them.
My dad called himself a functioning alcoholic once, and I was like, you got DUI, bro. That's not functioning.
Got your ass.
Got 'em. Yeah, it's like as much as we think we're functioning, we're not. You know, I don't think I used to call myself that too. I'm a functioning alcoholic. I go to work and I pay my bills, and then I started paying my bills because, well, I needed alcohol, and alcohol is expensive. It's pensive, and before you know it, now you're not paying the bill, you're not paying the credit card bill, and then that's going to be double payment. Now you got a late fee, and now you're like, F and I ain't paying it at all. I didn't even like them. And then so you stop paying on that one, then the other one you stop paying on, then you're just like, well, I really just need to pay my house payment and my car payment, and then that starts getting behind. Then they come take your car, and you're like, well, still got my house, and but it they're on the train. You know, there's no functioning alcoholic. Like you could be super duper rich and have all, like some of these celebrities out there, you know, they'll be super duper rich and they'll have all the money. They could buy alcohol until they die. And they do sometimes. But they're not functioning, and then they get fired from jobs, and it's all in the press. You know, like look at Ben Affleck, you know, and he's come back pretty strong. You know, he's in recovery, and I really wish they'd make a movie about him and his life, because that would be interesting as hell. And he played a coach in a movie. Did you guys see that? He was a basketball coach.
What movie was that?
Basketball coach Ben Affleck, I think it was the name of the movie. I don't know. He Got Game Part 2 or something, or not. I don't know. But he was a coach, and it was a really good movie. If you just Google Ben Affleck basketball movie coach or something, and he plays a guy that is battling alcoholism, and it's really good. And I put a comment on his Facebook thing about it, and it was like, Ben, it'd be great if you actually made a movie about your real life, bro. And that was like, I don't know, 2 years when I wrote that. And not that I'm name dropping or nothing, but about a month ago, Ben Affleck liked my comment.
From a while ago?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Not that I'm name dropping, but I'm friends with Ben Affleck now. Because he liked a comment that I put on his.
Was this on X?
Blue check, baby. No. Nobody messing with no X. I think we're still on X, but I don't know. Not ecstasy. I'm just saying that the Twitter, new Twitter's X. They call it X or something.
I was talking about X to the Z exhibit.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. We're gramming, though.
Yes.
You got the gram. We don't have the TikTok, though.
Why can these all be turned into drug terms?
I don't know.
Got a gram?
We're not on X, but we got the gram.
The movie you're talking about is called The Way Back.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Did you hear him?
That's what I said, bro.
Man,
No.
Oh, well, you guys should watch that movie. It was pretty good. Justin, you probably would like, because the people aren't doing grams and X and stuff.
Whoa.
Just Facebooking on there.
Funny
That's
dog.
messed up.
Mm-hmm. But I think you'd appreciate it, Mitch. You know, it's about the drink.
I haven't watched a good coach movie in a while.
It's a good one.
Is it better than what's his name's coach movie where he coached a bunch of the Special Olympics kids?
The Ringer?
No.
I thought you liked that movie.
With Woody Harrelson?
Mm-hmm.
It was all right.
It was horrible. Stupid.
That's what I'm asking you. Was it better?
They had the Coloma Junior High School film editing crew putting that together, man. That was stupid. Yeah, way better than that one. Woody Harrelson stole them people's money. Oh, Mitch, if you're going to do that, you can be like, hey, and there's a button that can mute your microphone. See, can't even hear you. He's talking right now, but we can't hear him. So if you cough, it's even better. What?
You just did it
Didn't even
again.
hear it.
Yeah. But I hit the button this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these boards are bootylicious.
I was trying to learn how to put the drops in them, and I found swear mode.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Swear mode.
It was just swear mode.
Enlighten us.
Well, it mutes whatever's being said, and then it does the censor sound.
got your ass.
Yeah.
More than one. That's great.
Yeah, I have 3. And let me.
I can only imagine what the other one I haven't heard is. 2 times.
Got your ass 2 times because you can't drive.
That's a special one going out to our homeboy, JD. But
I was just gonna say that's even funnier than it was when it was originally recorded.
No, but let me tell the story about the got your ass drops, because I know Marnie was like, what? And I didn't explain it to her even. But we pull up some of my old demo and start going through these disses. And I used to have a weatherman back in the day called the Chief. And probably couldn't do that in 2023. But back in whatever, 2004, 2006, whatever it was, I had a weatherman, and I didn't like to do the weather because I was like, people can look outside, people can look on their phone, people can get the weather however they want it. Nobody's waiting for me to come out of this commercial break to tell them what the weather is. He's like, well, you got to do the weather because we have a sponsor, you know? And I was like, all right, whatever. So I had the Chief doing my weathers, and he was supposedly, and this was his character, was he was related to the guy who ran the radio station somehow, and somehow he got a job because of that, and he sucked. And he would just do these over-the-top weathers that sometimes would be like a minute and a half long, and he's just acting a fool. Well, then he just was like, I can't do that anymore, because it did take a lot of time. So my intern at the time, the cowboy, Tyler, he was always helping at the station and stuff, and I liked him, and he was wanting to do the weather. So I was like, all right, man, you can do the weather. So he would call in every night and do the weathers. And he didn't like the Chief, and the Chief didn't like him. So the Chief just came in one day and just did a bunch of disses for the cowboy. And he was just like one of them was like, hey, cowboy, why don't you send a pea to the moon? Or I don't know, something. Then something silly, like, hey, you know, your girlfriend's ugly. Got your ass. He would just end it with that, but they're much worse than what I'm. These are some very PG stuff, but the other stuff is not PG. And I was playing that on the radio back in the day because it was funny. I thought so, and so yeah. So his name's Aaron. His
Aaron
real
and
name.
Tyler.
Yeah, Aaron McElrath. He's funny dude, but. He was the one that did that, and it was so damn funny. We were just dying listening to him, and I actually had to leave the room at one point. And he's in there cracking himself up at some of them. And
when you showed me those for the first time, I thought this was not like an act he was putting on or a voice. And you're like laughing, and I'm like, this is an actual person? This is terrible. Like, does this person exist?
Got your ass.
Because you're just laughing like you are right now and harder. And
Right.
Just one after another, and some of the stuff he was saying, I'm like, you met this man?
Got your ass.
And then finally you're like, oh, no. This was like, he did it for fun. And that's not how he talks. And I was like, thank God.
And then I played you the cowboy, and you're like, again. And I'm like, no, he's really like, he does,
Yeah.
cowboy really does.
Well, and I think that's why I thought that, because I think you played cowboy first, and he's not acting. You can tell.
Tonight it's gonna be cloudy, and then I'd have him do imitation. He'd be like, who do you want me to impersonate tonight? He's like, I'm really good at impressions, you know, and he was. And I'm like, Jackie Chan. He'd be like, whoa, cloudy. When I did Michael Jackson, he was like, and 68.
That's just
And
wrong.
sometimes he'd be mad because I'd be like, do Cheech and Chong. He'd be like something that's not even hard. He'd be like, ugh, I don't know how to do that one. I'm not doing it. You know, I'm like, all right, man. Do Scooby Doo. People are like,
It's the weather, man.
what is going on here, man? like people got going to me. He's like, you got like a circus going on up there? Like, what's going on? They had one lady that showed up, and like it could have been a circus, and I don't know what was going on with her, but I let her do the weather. This cowboy was off doing a football game or something, and she comes up there the next day or the next week after that Monday or whatever. She did it on Friday. She comes up Monday. She just walked up there, and my boss Jay comes and gets me. I was in the jock area, you know, doing my show prep, and he's like, "Hey man, you got a visitor here." and you got to get rid of her. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, back door. And I'm like, okay. It's like, I'm like, oh shit. And I like duck behind the thing. I'm like, who is that? And this one guy from the KFR, we call him Bubba. He was like, I'll go find out. And he was like a part-time guy. So he goes running out there and he's like, comes in. He's like, that's Lizzie, dude. That's her.
Lizzie is your classic Debbie.
Yeah. What's going on? I like spankings and whipped cream, and I'll do you good, boy.
Whoa.
Yeah, she was.
She was real too.
I put whipped cream on you and lick it off. Like it was bad. My mom was like, I hate her. I'm like, that's a real person, Mom.
Yeah.
I hate her. I'm
That's
like, it's
why I
not a
thought-
character, Mom.
That's why I thought the chief was real. She'd tell me all these people that are just
Like,
like
for real,
TV shows, like a lizard lick movie.
Yes.
Or whatever it is.
It was crazy. And then Bubba comes running back. He's like, she's got a beard. I'm like, I saw that. I saw that. And I was like, I am not going out there, man.
That makes the
He's like,
sickest
she
comment.
says she's here to do the weather again tonight. I was like, tell her that was only one time. He's like, okay. He was like loving it. And he's like, she wants to even give a ride home that she walked up here and she's sweating. It's hot out. And I was like, nope. I don't even think I smoked for like 4 hours that night because I would always go out every hour and smoke a cigarette. I was like, nope. Like, I'm going outside, she'll be behind this dark out now. Like, the radio station was down like this road. And it's just like at the end of a road and just a field out in the middle of nowhere. You know, it's like, well, good times.
Like I can identify the part of this podcast that some people aren't going to enjoy.
And that was from the same station, the same demo tape.
Oh, you showed me that too.
That was when I had the Pooh Fighter contest, which I thought was a great idea at the time. They're like, oh, got Foo Fighter tickets for giving away. Well, let's have a Pooh Fighter contest. And guy called up, was like, Winfield, I can help you. I was like, okay, how? He's like, well, I work at an apartment complex. I'm like, okay. And he's like, and I pick up all the dog shit. And I was like, okay. He's like, I'll bring you a bag. I was like, all right, man, let's go. So I got the intern. She was going to help with it, and everything was getting set up, and had all the contestants there. And I had this little paddle that you paddle a boat with, you know, like
You
just
showed me the picture.
It was a little paddle. And
we almost found some paddles the other day. We were doing the donation.
and then it was the rain. The rain came.
That had to be a slimy
Washed it
mess.
all
And
away.
it poured, and it was just a downpour.
Just
And it was
poo mud.
yeah, and all the poo was in like this clear bag, you know, they put leaves in or something, but it was open, so like all the rain's just going inside of it, and it's getting all the poo just and the smell.
Somebody should have called Lizzie and had her do a wrestling in there.
You want some Foo Fighter tickets? Nah, that's okay. I don't know what she would have said, but they still fought the poo off, and then like
Poo
she
off.
was just like trying to throw these gloves on, and it was just shit going everywhere. And I walked around the corner, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go back in and do something, because I was my own board op. So I'd start the song would stop, and I'd start my mic, I'd start talking on the handheld, and I'd walk around and go outside, and then when I was done, I had to go walking all the way back in, and then hit the commercial break because I couldn't get a board out for it, so I had to do it myself. So I was walking back in, and the smell had hit me, and it was not the sexiest sound I've ever made on the radio.
Oh man.
Yeah, so so drops. You know, we're talking about drops, and these are the story behind the drops.
Fabulous.
Of course, Justin's Fabulous is classic, and
You want to buy a shirt?
I went to the UFAM rally last year, and I don't know, Justin just decided
Fabulous.
it's going to be his new word for everything, and everything became fabulous, and now he's got his own fabulous shirt line out, and
I still appreciate the fact that I had something to do with making that line famous. Nobody really picked up on it until I started to push it a little bit, and now it's the only name Tyrone will call you.
What's up, Fabulous?
I don't mind it.
Man,
I love it.
Yeah. But your podcast, though, Mitch, I talked to Adam about it a little bit last week, but not in too much detail. But I was asking about the name. Is it going to change? You guys find a website? You know, all these questions that he didn't know the answer to because I was putting him on the spot. He's like, I don't know, man. Sure, yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Asking those questions. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
I don't want to change the name. I like it. If I type in, can I plug it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only
It's been kind of hard trying to find a 19, 20-year-old.
that was episode 2. We found one.
I'll have to get all up in it.
That was episode 3 after we found him.
Whoa.
Got your ass.
That was episode 4?
Yeah, we didn't let him go.
so
But I don't know. Like if you type in
Typing it.
redacted recover your mind in Google, it pops it right up. And I like it. This is my secret is I like it because it's searchable. And what that means is when somebody in the SEO world, when somebody types in redacted for something else, I might be in their search results. Is that a little slimy in the SEO world? Kinda. Do I care? Not really.
But I'm just saying, if you go to, we're redacted, recover your mind, go to Mitch.com for, that's my thing. It's like, it would be easy to find it.
Oh.
Redacted.com.
And we're very young, so I haven't gotten the website yet. And that's where it's a little expensive. And I'm not there yet.
Well, we're learning how to fundraise. So,
Yeah.
not that I want somebody to run out and buy this, but redacted. Okay.
What?
Not doing it. You almost tricked me. Oh, I think if I hit this button, nobody else can hear me. I don't know how to work this board yet. But yeah, there's
Spell it.
there's something that you might be able to get that could be pretty cool. But the podcast, what was the last episode about? I'm listening to it tonight.
So we talked about what's going on over in Israel and how it could line up biblically with prophecy and stuff like that.
Whoa, didn't even think about that.
Yeah. No, we've been thinking. Adam and I identified that we need to be more educated about what we're talking about. But then we also talked about, we shifted gears and started talking about giant ancient trees.
Okay.
A lot of people are saying that there are some mountaintops and quote unquote volcanoes that are actually petrified giant tree stumps. And if you look at them and their structure, it looks kind of similar. And there's myths about giant trees and multiple different belief systems. The Bible brings it up, which Adam and I both have kind of a basis in that. So we always bring that up, but we try to pull out some of the other belief
I'll
systems.
have to get all up in it.
Yep. And we capped off the talk with cryptozoology. You know, Mr. Foot, Bigfoot, and Loch Ness.
I heard there was
stuff
a
like
really
that.
bad video that just came out.
That's
Some
usually
Bigfoot
happens.
waiting by a train or watching a train go by or
Haven't seen that one, but it's probably the train you were talking about earlier.
no. No, it was a video. Like I heard them talking about it on the ticket, and they were saying something about it and about this new Bigfoot video. And
Is it really grainy? Because that seems to be the thing with them. But you know, there's a lot of theories about that stuff. And I was asking Adam, like, what's his favorite, or which one does he think is actually possible? And we pondered for a little bit. So Adam thinks that if any of them could be real, he thinks it's Bigfoot.
That's a little Mexican creature.
The Chupacabra, El
Yeah.
Chupacabra.
Yeah, that thing.
We talked about that a little bit. It's actually in the episode art right in the middle, And so, because the original myth made it like this little devil creature that sucks the blood out of goats and chickens. But it's kind of changed recently because they actually found a creature that they think it could be, which is actually like this weird hairless dog thing down in Central America, Mexico, Southwest America. And they found one.
Chihuahua.
It looks like a big, like if a Chihuahua went Hulk, but black and not green. So that's interesting. So we talked about those because that's something that really exists, but is it actually what people were seeing back in the day? Or are we just swapping it into the myth because we think it's fun? Or we talk about a couple other little beliefs about it, and I don't want to give away everything, so people have to go listen to the podcast.
Yes.
Little mystery.
I'm trying to look for your website on here. It's supposed to have that.
RSS.com/redacted recover your mind or something like that.
Right, but isn't there supposed to be a link to your website on here?
No, I already said we don't have an actual
I thought they
website.
gave you a free website.
No, that's the one thing that I actually was a little perturbed about with going to RSS because it says that you get a free customizable website.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a thing. The website that you get is rss.com, and the customizable part is you can add links and buttons to certain things. Like if you have your own website, you can add a link to it, and that makes it customizable. The rest of the experience has been pleasurable. I like it.
Yeah.
So I do like it. But that one was just a slight bit misleading. But I kind of go, we're getting that free 6 months. So I forgave them.
Yeah, I don't know. I found them because I was looking for a different place to go besides Spreaker, because Spreaker is damn expensive. And once you become a customer, they don't care about you, and they just charge your credit card when you tell them, I want to end it, and then they charge you anyway. And I go, no, you send me that shit back. And they go, nope.
And you get new credit card information, and then they still do it?
Yeah. And I'm like, how is this happening? Like,
Magic.
it's irritating.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'll cancel it, and then I'll become a new member again. They're like, okay. I'm like, why don't you just give me the fucking 50% off? Quit planning. But so I looked at this one, and it seemed all right. And then I reached out, and they're like, hey, we have a plan for nonprofits. I'm like, all right, that's even sweeter. And they're like, well, if we do that, then you won't get the 6 months free. And I'm like,
what?
Okay, this sounds like a real deal you're cutting me since I'm a nonprofit. Now you're going to charge me and not give me the free stuff for 6 months? Okay. And then it became an issue of they figured something out with that. And then it was like, okay, well, I have 700 episodes. I'm going to transfer over there. Oh, yeah. Not going to be able to do that. Not that nonprofit rate. Okay, whatever the rate is. I mean, I have 700 I'm bringing over. Oh, well, that's going to be a problem. I'm like, wait, what?
It was a bit of a process with 8 episodes.
And then I got the guy that worked the night shift later responding to another different email. Oh, we can do all that. It's not no problem. And we can get you a discount for the nonprofit stuff. I'm like, what is going on? And then the next day, fire back with the guy who didn't know what was going on, and I couldn't have anything. And I just got real tired of it. And then it was like, now we have 800 and whatever episodes. So it's, yeah.
We're stuck.
And you said 8 was a problem.
It wasn't really a problem, but it was a process. It took 4 or 5 days before they're like, all right, you're good. You can start podcasting again. And which seems a little, it was a couple back and forth emails. I do think some of their integration distribution stuff is a little bit easier. A little bit easier. I like that. Pandora, we talked about that.
Yeah, that was a process. I had to reach out directly to them.
We did not. It was pretty easy setup. I had a little bit of a hiccup with getting it switched over on Apple because they duplicated us. So there's two of them. one from the like ones that we did on Spreaker, and then RSS got involved, and then we got like another one with the updated information. It's had all of our Spreaker episodes and all of our new episodes, so it was a little interesting. But the Pandora one was easy. Sending them over to YouTube is a lot easier. I had to, like, I thought you had background music slowly welling up.
That's my airplane drop.
But no, and then the YouTube one, like I had to get in and put in some information and passwords and stuff. But there's just a button now, and for some reason YouTube doesn't partner with them the right way, so you can't just publish it and it'll automatically go out. But it's as easy as publishing it. It automatically goes out to all the other ones, and then you just hit an extra button and it shoots it to YouTube for you. So,
and now, because one thing I hate about Spreaker is when we publish it to YouTube, it has like this ugly like Spreaker background.
have you looked at our YouTube?
No.
So I didn't like the background either through Spreaker, and there's still background through RSS, but it's much more pleasing to the eyes, I would say. Kind of goes with whatever, it picks kind of a color scheme that you have in your art in the middle, and does the background with that, but it just looks smoother. I like it more. So
I guess if I knew coding, I'd understand how to open it and change it, but I don't know.
I don't even know if that's, could you do that?
I don't know. Probably not.
Spreaker, I wouldn't guess that they make that changeable, but I really don't know.
They told me, no, we can't do that. Yeah. Like, oh, yeah, you can, because you added that to it. Take that off and add my shit. Thanks. Yeah.
That'll be an extra, $7.99 a month.
Yeah, because I don't like the background. And like I have to change the thumbnail because the thumbnail's stupid. So I have to change the thumbnail because it has their little Spreaker thing on there, and I change it to whatever I'm talking about. Usually today it'll be hot buttons.
Well, that's what I say when I say the podcast art. That's the thumbnail, but it's easy. Like I usually make an image or find one. I've made a couple of them. Some of them are kind of obvious, and I do that on purpose because it's kind of silly. We talk about a couple different things, so I'll hodgepodge them together. But there was one that I made that looked like it really came that way, and it was pretty neat. So
if you're recommending someone who's out there is like, man, I'm going to start my own podcast. These idiots they did podcasts on hot buttons, like this is stupid. I'm going to start my own. Would you recommend a different one? Would you recommend Spreaker or RSS? Like,
I think it depends on what you have, where my recommendation would go. If you have a board and you can do it that way, I would recommend RSS first. Don't get excited about the free website, but the rest of it seems to work pretty well. If you aren't doing that and you're using USB mics and you would like a studio, or maybe you can't afford Adobe or whatever it is, Spreaker Studio isn't terrible. It's kind of like having a board right on your PC, laptop, whatever you're using, and it's not hard to use, and then it integrates right into to Spreaker, and it's easy to post and stuff. So I think if you're just starting out, Spreaker's a good idea. And the cool thing about that is RSS always kind of has this deal going on. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it's like what you wanted us to do, where if you're transferring from a different platform, you get 6 months free. And so it kind of makes sense to do that anyway. I didn't want to do it because I get worried about starting new things and it gives me anxiety. So I was just like, we'll just do it and just pay it and not worry about the free. Because it's affordable too. There are other platforms out there that I haven't tried, but RSS is pretty affordable and it works pretty well with what it does for how much you pay for it. There are other ones out there, I don't know if they smell better or something, but they're like 3-4 times as much. I know how that works and what it comes with. Maybe they have somebody to do it for you. I don't know. but it works really well, and I think it actually is just a little bit less expensive than Spreaker on the normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so beginners, I'd probably say go with Spreaker. If you've got all the like a board and a little bit more equipment, RSS is probably the way to go. But I mean, you got to mix it down yourself and stuff like that. So
Do your editing.
yeah,
That's fine. Yeah, I would say Spreaker. I like their app on their phone. Like if we're driving or something, I usually stop, of course, to start it. That's just what I do.
to be safe.
Yep. And I have like little clip-on mics. They're little USB mics, whatever, and I can plug it right into my iPhone and record it. It sounds all right. I mean, it's nothing too crazy, but I do like that. But yeah, the Spreaker, the price, once they got you, there's no like, hey, we want to thank you for being with us for 5 years. And there's none of that. There's like, hey, cool, we're just going to take your money. Thanks.
That blows.
Yeah, that does blow, and it's quite expensive. So I would say that, yeah, try Spreaker out, try Beancast or Podbean or whatever it is, and just try them all out. Especially if they have a free trial, do that. And like Mitch said, there's the RSS.com. They will give you 6 months free if you switch over. So you have to have your podcast going for like a month on a different platform.
I have a question. Is RSS like the OG podcast platform? Because podcasts, they're called RSS feeds, and that's RSS.com. Did they do that to make themselves more popular, or were they the first?
I haven't read their Wikipedia page. I'm not sure.
I'll jump on Podopedia later and
Yeah, I don't know the story behind. I haven't watched the behind the podcast on them yet.
it got me thinking, and I was like, maybe these guys are like the original, but
I don't know. It's all relative to what someone wants and what they have and what they have access to. But I appreciate you coming on today to talk about podcasting, Mitch, and talk about your podcast. I can't wait to kind of help you with it a little bit more. And I think you guys are going good. You got headphones. I'm so excited.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Game changer, right?
dude, it was so much different. Like the whole, I think you'll be able to tell if somebody comes to our podcast down the road and starts listening from the beginning. They'll be able to tell. And like those guys got new headphones that day. The whole feel and vibe of everything was just more laid back and less. We were thinking about less and trying to listen and do less. There's less anxiety involved, so you get to really just kind of sit there and do the podcast, which was nice.
And even before this podcast, it's like, gotta go grab my headphones. It's like, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, Justin, you still awake over there?
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta go get your hair did. So, we should wrap it up.
Yeah, here in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, it takes a while to get there. It's rush hour traffic.
5 mile walk. I mean, a 5 minute walk.
Which one is it, Justin?
5 minute.
Say, if you're doing 5 miles
In 5 minutes,
pretty fast.
it was a jet, a fighter jet.
That's Sasquatch blood in you.
Mm-hmm.
No. But thanks for listening. I don't know. We started off about recovery, and we have fun in recovery, so that kind of works for us. And
Well, doing these podcasts and stuff, it helps. It helps me in recovery. I know it does Adam and you. Like that's the whole reason you did it. And I get to tell people that when I go out to like meetings and stuff that I talk about for 217, and get to tell them like we're all about fun in recovery. We're all about finding that thing that helps you in recovery. And for some reason, I don't like to say what keeps you sober, because it's not just about being sober. It's really about being in recovery. And that encompasses more than just your sobriety. So find that thing.
find it. And 217recovery.com is our website. We have tickets, and you got to sign up like today or tomorrow, or maybe the next day. But we have tickets to the Ancient Alien show in Kalamazoo. Keep mentioning it. And then I had a guy, Matt, tell me the other day, he's like, I tried to sign up, but it wouldn't let me. Let's check that out. But it should work just fine. 217recovery.com. Tickets, Kalamazoo State Theater, November 3rd. We're going to start giving those away soon, and you'll sit next to us, probably, I would assume. So
We're
don't be
we
surprised
these
you get
tickets
kicked out.
that are all on the separate corners of the stadium.
Might be a better thing. Nah, but it should be fun. And then we have our event coming up next Thursday here in Traverse City. Recovery Stories, Message of Hope Part 1.
Spaghetti dinner.
Yep, it's free. It's at the Grand Traverse Event Center. Or is it the Traverse City Event Center? Grand
It was
Traverse.
the Traverse City Event Center, is what I thought.
It's the Traverse then.
It's got to be.
Event Center. No, it's where the comedy club is. It's on South Garfield, 738. But yeah, 5 o'clock doors open. We're gonna start slapping some spaghetti on people's plates about 5:30. And it's not just any spaghetti. This is Mama's spaghetti, not my mom's spaghetti. Just somebody's spaghetti.
Aunt spaghetti.
Yeah, that's what it
Auntie.
is. But it'll be pretty good. And we're gonna have a little salad maybe and some breadsticks and maybe some cookies or something. I don't know. But it'll be a good time. So come out to that if you're interested.
Justin promised a whole bunch of stuff when we were out talking to people.
Bad, he did.
Ice cream.
Yeah, and we're gonna be doing it 24/7.
Yeah, you're gonna be there all night.
Yeah, but check it out. Details are online at 217recovery.com. I'll holla at you later.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Win a bunch of free shit from 217 Recovery. Go to the app or the website, 217recovery.com.